What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. It is Wednesday, May 10th, 2023, year of our Lord. I don't know why I keep thinking that, or I be wanting to say it's something other than 2023. But it's Wednesday, the year of our Lord, and everything is awesome. Everything is absolutely awesome. I'm excited to be able to kick it with you guys today. Welcome to the Millionaire Morning Show. Shout out to Chelsea's Live Line. Who else I see? I see Kojak, Rashad. I see Big Suggs. I see Eric J. I see Azriel. All of y'all, I love my people because y'all just come in and y'all start speaking to each other. Classy Beats is in the building. Trees, the wealth building journey. Quentin, what up, Quentin? Who we got? Mr. BX87. Shout out to BX87. I appreciate you, big dog. Lauren Love. Shout out to Lauren Love. Jermaine Habib. Kenneth Brown. Hassan Malik. Spaces. Kyronetta. Shout out to Kyronetta. I appreciate you, Kyronetta. Salute to you. Robert, good morning. D got sauce. My dog Brock. Steve Elmore. What up, though? What up, though? Lamb Sauce is in the building. Shout out to all of the new Patreon members. You know it's going to be a good day, Classy Beats, because I got it on. Cameron, Cassandra Bryant, what's going on? Huey the Historian says, why does African Americans hate Fresh and Fit? This isn't even about Fresh and Fit. Y'all going to have to be able to watch the show before y'all start to draw conclusions. Y'all going to have to watch the show before you draw conclusions. Shout out to my first super chatter today. The Service USA is in the building. Says, salute, Brandy. I appreciate you. Big Rig, Jew Martin. What up, though? We in the building. I actually think that Fresh and Fit, even though I understand that the content is not necessarily for me. King David, what up, though? But that don't mean that I necessarily hate them. But we're going to get into that in a minute. So, again, make sure you hit a like for the YouTube. The very least that you can do is hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe. You don't have to subscribe, but make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, and then turn on your notifications if you decide to subscribe. I put up a poll inside of the Patreon today for everybody based off of where you guys want me to go next as far as the Patreon meetup. Where you guys want us to go next as far as the Patreon meetup. I made a couple suggestions. I said, do you want to go to DC or do you want to go to New York? Those are the places that I prefer to go to next, simply because in the summertime, listen, I'm not going to New York and I'm not going to DC in the wintertime, not unless it's on some business. I'm not going to New York. I'm not going to DC in the wintertime, not unless it's on business. And so I prefer to go to the East Coast and the Midwest and all of that type of stuff when it's warmer outside, so that we can still have a vibe and we can have a good time, because I'm a tropical kid. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been Toronto, shout out to Toronto. I see you, Lester AMG. But I dropped a poll, so make sure you go and vote. I put New York, I put DC, and then I put other. And I see a lot of y'all responding, talking about North Carolina, Los Angeles, and all of these other type of places. So we'll see what happens. I might even do a London meetup, and then we'll see what's going on with that. So shout out to all of the Patreon members. If you're not a brag chaser, make sure you join the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, just a couple more housekeeping tips. Moderators, be on the lookout for the Dusty Dusties. We don't care if people disagree with us, but we don't want no disrespect. So make sure you keep the chat clean, as clean as possible. But if you disagree with me, that's fine. I don't mind people that disagree with me. I actually welcome people that disagree with me, because Friday we're going to have the smoke show for y'all to be able to cam up and holla at me. So absolutely awesome. What else? New Teej commercial. Well, same Teej commercial. New Teej deal dropping tomorrow. So we got the ink drying on that. So we just signed the new Teej deal. We just renegotiated that. So the beginning intro might be a little bit different than what y'all have seen for the last week or so, or this month. But we got a new Teej deal in the works, so that's going to be awesome. We got some new information that I'm going to be dropping very soon later on this week on Rumble. And life is absolutely awesome. Life is good. So, again, if you're not a bag chaser, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And let's get it popping. So I got a lot of different things that I want to tap into today. And so we just going to go ahead and get straight started with the show. The first thing that I want to address, and I'm going to be reading oh, wait a minute. Before we get going, let me read these Cash Apps because people have been dropping Cash Apps. And so I want to make sure that I acknowledge the people. Shout out to Mike, that dude with the 5 ball. I appreciate you, my friend. Kenneth with the 20 ball. Shout out to Kenneth. You dropped the 20 ball in my lap and said, what up, though? Andrew Carter, I appreciate you. Brandon Robinson says, I love the show and keep up the good work. And T-Max 77095 says, salute. Jordan Smith, shout out to Jordan Smith with the 20 ball. Travis Copeland, I appreciate you. And everybody that continues to contribute to the platform, you are absolutely 100% acknowledged. And I love you. So we got a full show today because a lot of y'all, and I've been promising y'all that I was going to react to van life. We got Trump in the news. We got a fake fresh and fit. We got a lot of stuff to go over today. So I'm sure we're not going to get to all of it, but we definitely going to get into it. Again, make sure you hit a like on the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. And if you want me to review something specifically that you see in your algorithm that you would think that is awesome for me to react to, then make sure you email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. All right, let me show Classy Beats. Classy Beats says, congrats on the new deal. Thank you, my friend. You know, Bag Chasers, we negotiate a little bit differently. Much different than the deal that we had over at the Lapeef Network. Shout out to them. Congratulations on continuing to maintain your Teach deal. But Anton from AntonDaniels.com is a bag chaser, and so we do things a little bit differently. The numbers is way different because I'm going to go ahead and carry that on my back. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Teach. We definitely doing the work. Shout out to them. Shout out to my dog, Bruiser. Bruiser is in the building. I appreciate you, Bruiser. I'm expecting to have a conversation with you on Friday when I drop the link in the description for the people to be able to cam up. And we're going to keep it rocking. So let's get into the show, ladies and gentlemen. No introduction. You know what it is. I'm not even going to start with a monologue. We're going to save that for the end. Let's get into the business. So Trump recently had a civil judgment against him. And this is based off of, if I'm not mistaken, a accusation that's made against him in 2019, 2020, but based off of something that happened 30 years ago. Again, remember, ladies and gentlemen, that everything that happens in this world, it always comes back down to the money. So let's go ahead and get it popping. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's turn it up, ladies and gentlemen.
A federal jury found Donald Trump liable for the sexual abuse and defamation of writer Eugene Carroll and ordered him to pay $5 million in damages.
How do you feel?
Trump called the verdict a disgrace in a message on his social media network, Truth Social.
So he said, I absolutely have no idea. This is what he said when he put it down on social media. All right, because they just going to gloss over this part and they're going to highlight what it is that happened in court. But this is what Trump's statement is. He says, I have absolutely no idea who this woman is. This verdict is a disgrace, a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time. So before we get into this, do y'all think that it's a witch hunt against Donald Trump? I'm going to save my thoughts for a little bit later. But do y'all think that this is a witch hunt against Donald Trump?
Corinne Ramey covers New York investigations into Donald Trump and has been following the civil trial for The Journal. She explains what you need to know about the case and what the consequences are for Trump.
This lawsuit was filed in 2022 by Eugene Carroll, a writer and advice columnist. She alleged in the lawsuit that Donald Trump raped her in the dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman's, a Manhattan department store in the mid-1990s.
So this is what she's saying. All right, you ready?
His shoulder against me, to hold me against the wall. And at that point, I realized that I was in a very difficult situation.
Her lawyers tried to show that Trump had what they call an MO.
This is crazy, yo. This is absolutely crazy. All right. To know that you can be accused and it ain't no evidence, there is no witnesses. Who's to say that this man even knows this lady? Think about what's happening here. Remove your bias for or against Trump. Remove your bias for or against Trump. And yes, I am going to tackle the whole Tucker Carlson thing tomorrow. Remove your bias against or for him. So it doesn't matter if you support him, if you're looking to vote for him, if you rock with him. And it does not matter if you absolutely hate and despise him and says orange man bad. Remove your bias and look at it objectively. This is what we want to do because we want to figure out how it comes back down to the money. All right. When you remove your bias and considering the story that I showed from y'all yesterday in which the woman accused the man, if you did not watch yesterday's stream, go and watch it. The woman accused the man and filed a paternity suit in which they were about to start garnishing his paycheck, and there was possibility for him to absolutely lose his marriage and his life, and there was no retribution, there's no consequences against the woman that accused him. And then he wound up forcing her through the news for her to actually go and take the paternity test to find out, lo and behold, he actually did not even father the kid, right? But that doubt still lives possibly in the woman, in his wife's head, right? Remember when that happened yesterday. Now, keep in mind that this woman is accusing this man of something allegedly from 30 years ago. And he like, I don't even know who the fuck this woman is.
That he sexually assaulted women in similar ways. And they did this through both the accounts of two women, but also by playing the 2005 Access Hollywood tape.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the... I can do anything.
This tape will always come back to haunt him. Be careful who you kicking it with. Be careful who you surround yourself with. You might become famous one day. That's the thing that people don't even realize is that even aside from this, a lot of people don't even realize that the things that you do when you're just a normal everyday person, because people think it only applies to celebrities, YouTubers, and all of this other type of stuff. The things that you say, the conversations that you have, the people that you associate yourself with. When I tell y'all on a regular basis, hey, divest yourself against the people that ain't adding value into your life and it's not going into the direction, the direction that you're going in your life. I mean it, not just for you to be able to level up now, but because you don't want to associate yourself with people. It's funny, right? I am definitively, in my opinion, based off of what I see, because we're all connected, and thank God for social media today, because you can see how things are going with the majority of the people. In my opinion, based off of what I see, I am quite possibly the most successful person in my graduating class. Was never voted to be the possibly most successful or anything like that, because the way that the way that they chose for people to be successful is based off of whether you were studious in school, you did your grades and all of this other type of stuff, right? So now that I'm popping, it's funny. And I was talking to Rita about this the other day. Something pops up, I posted a reel on my timeline based off of what my editor cut up on something that I was saying. It was either on this channel or the Anton Daniels channel. And it was basically highlighting how can women be valued in the same way that they have of yesteryear, when the women of yesteryear were married when they were virgins, or they were virgins when they were married, and then the women of today, they basically say, let me slut it out all my life, and then I want to meet a man at the end of the finish line. I look in my comments, and I look at somebody that had replied, and they going back and forth with somebody in the comments, and I said, I can't believe this person. I can't believe this woman, right? Not this woman. Like, I know them in real life. When we run into each other, they'd be like, yo, what up, what up? We ain't seen each other in years. I'm popping a little bit more. They go on with their life. I go on with my life. And I'm like, yo, Rita, you see this person? And they talking to me like Cynthia G is out here. And then they had the nerve to say, did you even graduate? They had the nerve to say to me, did you even graduate? Like, fam, you had my number. My number has changed now. You had my number in real life. We was all cool until I blew up. Now you in my comments like you don't even know who I am. You in my comments like you don't know who I am talking about, fam, did you even graduate? And I'm like, yo, this is such and such. I thought that was my homegirl, whatever, so on and so forth. Basically, it lets you know that anybody can say anything at any time, and everybody is clout chasing. Everybody is clout chasing, even when you knew them. Listen, known these people for, what has it been, 30 plus years, Rita? 20 plus years, close to 25 years. Known some of these people for close to 25 years, and then all of a sudden, they acting funny style talking about, did I even graduate? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, but what it also shows you is just because they was allegedly rocking with you, or just because everything was cool on the surface, does not mean that they was truly cool with you. They probably felt some type of way, or they really wasn't fucking with you way back then, but they really showing their ass now, and it's just wild. Almost 27 years, Kojak. We went to school together too. You don't know these people. So when you hear stuff like this come out on a regular basis, it's difficult enough that guys are already with their backs against the wall, against the 8-ball, by the idea that anybody can say anything, and then you're guilty until proven innocent. But it's worse. It's way worse when you have to deal with the idea that somebody can come back and then just continue throw you under the bus, and this ain't even got nothing to do. It's not even relevant. It's not even, this right here of what happened on Access Hollywood is not even relevant to anything with regard to the woman, but they're tying this in because they don't actually have any real evidence that he did anything, or that he even knew this woman, or he haven't had any interaction with her whatsoever. But she can say what she want to say, and then all of a sudden he got a $5 million judgment against him. But let's continue.
Trump's side chose not to present any witnesses at trial, but they said one reason for this is because his defense was essentially that it never happened, that her story was a lie, it was inconsistent. Trump has said he doesn't know Carroll and that he's never met her.
Now, when you say in here, I don't know this woman and have no idea who she is, even though you're using the present tense, you're referring back to your knowledge as of when she first made the allegation.
I still don't know this woman. I think she's a whack job. I have no idea. I don't know anything about this woman other than what I read in stories and what I hear. I know nothing about her.
So it's his word against her word. Ain't no witnesses, ain't no evidence. She basically can go in, design. She has enough incentive. We don't know who's behind it. We don't know who's trying to do a hit job. We don't know nothing. Again, remove your bias for or against Trump, and then let's just make a realistic assessment of what's happening here. He said, listen, I don't even know who this woman is. And she said, oh man, he pressed his body up against me, and so now he owed me $5 million. Man, get out of here with that.
Lawsuit, she also alleges that Trump defamed her in a 2022 social media post in which he called her account a hoax and a lie and said she wasn't my type. Carroll asked for damages.
So how is that defaming? Because he said, hey, she lying on me, and she not even my type. She lying on me, and she not even my type. How is that defaming?
Both defamation and battery. One of her lawyers said in a closing argument that for Eugene Carroll, the case was not about the money. For Trump, the immediate impact is he'll have to pay the damages that were ordered by the jury.
This was a rape claim. It was a rape case all along, and the jury rejected that, but made other findings. So we'll obviously be appealing those other findings.
He's also sure to face questions about the verdict as he continues running for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination.
So let's rewind here, all right? Let's go into what it is that she said, because then right after that, she jumps on MSNBC in order to do an interview. Now, first of all, the wildest thing is the timing. If I'm a juror, I'm assessing whether or not this actually makes sense or not. I have to look at the timing of this and saying, okay, wait a minute. So you telling me that anybody can say anything about you 30 years later and that's just the end of the conversation? I have not seen her interview. I have not seen what it is that she's saying. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Shout out to Marcus. I'm going to be reading your Super Chat. Let's go into what it is that she said.
His verdict by a New York City jury finding Donald Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation. The unanimous.
They found him They said that he didn't rape her because they don't want to add that part in. They said that they found him not guilty on the whole rape thing, but they found him liable for defamation, and that's where she can get 5 M's from.
Unanimous decision was handed down after less than 3 hours of deliberation. Trump now must pay $5 million in damages to writer Eugene Carroll.
Wild, bro.
And Eugene Carroll joins us now along with her attorney, Roberta Kaplan. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
How are you feeling this morning, Eugene?
I feel on top of the world. I feel yesterday was the happiest day of my life.
Was it? How come? What was the feeling?
Because the former president had smeared me so badly and so evilly and with such malice and such spite that it wasn't until yesterday I got back up on my feet and felt my name is back. And Robbie Kaplan got it back for me.
This is like, I feel like I'm living in a Twilight Zone. I genuinely feel like I'm living in a Twilight Zone. Yo, can you imagine somebody 30 years later allegedly come and accuse you of something and you don't even know who that whole name is? Can you imagine that? Somebody just out of the blue can come out and say something, and then you can accuse him of rape, but he can't accuse you of being a liar. You can accuse him of rape, but he can't accuse you of being a liar and say that you're not his type. It's an assault on men. More than it is when you pay attention to what's happening to Tyrese, if you paying attention to what's happening to Trump, if you pay attention to what's happening to the everyday man, this is an assault on men more than it is than a hit piece on Trump. So you can come up during a presidential election and accuse a man of doing something, and that's just the end of the conversation. I don't have to watch the word. I can say whatever word I want to say. I can say whatever word that I want to say.
There were a lot of people who wondered why you would bring this case, not just because of the time, but because you know.
Yes, because of the time.
From New York, you understand who Donald Trump is. You know how he fights. You knew it was going to be ugly. Everything you just laid out, you knew that's what was going to
These are all softball questions because of the timing.
happen. He's still doing it this morning.
Right.
So why was it so important to you, and indeed, why was it worth it to you to bring this case?
Well, I didn't.
Because she wanted the money
at the time.
Right.
It took me a long time to get over feeling shame, believing it was my fault. I was frightened he would strike back. He did. I was frightened I'd lose my job. I did. And then the ASA was passed in New York State, and it gave us a nudge. And
so the timing just so happened to happen. You was afraid you was gonna lose your department store job. She was afraid she was gonna lose her job at the department store. So it took you 30 years to figure it out.
the ability to hold him accountable for the rape. So that's why we did it.
I understand you had an exchange with Donald Trump's attorney, Joe Tacopina, after the jury delivered its verdict.
But they found that they didn't convict him of rape. That's not what they convicted him of. But she's still excited about the $5 million based off of the defamation. Come on, man. If you wanted justice with regard to one thing and you didn't get it, but you get some money, and so you were incredibly excited as a result of it.
What did you say to each other?
Joe is extremely likable. And so, of course, he is congratulating Robbie, Sean, Mike, the whole team. And my turn came up, and he put out his hand. And I looked him in the eye. I said, he did it, and you know it. And then we shook hands, and I went on by.
Did he say anything back to you?
He's extremely charming. He smiled, and, we got through it.
Robbie, we were playing a bunch of the deposition you took for Donald Trump, which was so damning in so many ways. As you look now on the other side of this,
look at these.
One for Eugene, what was decisive, do you believe, in the eyes of the jury?
I think that deposition video had a lot to do with the verdict. I think they saw in that video who Donald Trump is, what he believes, and how he acts, and he said it in his own words. And I think that had a huge impact on the jury in this case.
This is wild. This is absolutely wild. So this woman, Skeletor, and I do. Everything in me is telling me that this is a hit piece. This is an opportunity for them to leverage his image against him in order to come up from a financial perspective. The timing is suspicious. The story is suspicious. The body language and the conversations is suspicious. And more importantly, how can somebody just say whatever it is that they want to say, and that's just the end of the conversation, and you don't have to do anything other than just say and accuse somebody, and that's it? This is wild. This is wild. So I'm not going for it. I don't believe it. I don't believe her. I don't believe all women just because they say it. I believe in innocent until proven guilty. And this just shows you that not only the country has no backbone, our legal system has no backbone. Men are under attack. Men are under assault. Trump is under attack and under assault. And the thing that I would just love for people to just be able to run, for there to be no political agenda or anything like that in order to try to leverage it and smear somebody's name in order to prevent them from being able to be successful when it comes to their election bid. Run on your merits, run on whatever it is it takes in order to be successful. And this is just crazy. It's absolutely insane that people feel comfortable enough to ruin somebody else's pockets, money, reputation, chances of continuing to be elected. But I will say this on the other side of the question, or on the other side of this conversation. I think that they're just making him even more successful. I used to think that the image of somebody, or what image is being painted of them, is largely going to determine what their success is. So for example, if one of my narratives is, I wish that we could have somebody with the kahunas and the backbone of a Trump, and you combine that with the charisma and the image of an Obama, and you'd have the perfect candidate, in my opinion, right? And when you think about that, I used to think that, the more that they smeared your image, the more hurtful it's going to become of you. And I was absolutely wrong. It's the complete opposite. I believe the more infamous you become, the more powerful you are. It's flipped. It's reversed. This is not the 1990s. I honestly believe that the more infamous you become, the more powerful you are. And as we go through this show, I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you. I think that the more visibility that you have, the more that people start to see through the BS, and they can start to tell who's who. Who's who. But let's continue with the show. We got a lot to go through. Let me read some of these super chats. Marcus X says, any advice on ending losing close friendships? Don't announce it. Don't announce it. the only thing you have to do is continue to live your life and stop spending so much time around people that's not adding value. You don't have to announce it. Hey, yo, listen, I'm not really rocking with you no more. I'm not going to be calling you and none of that. Just stop calling. Start being more busy. Start to replace the time that you were spending with them with other things that's actually more valuable for what it is that you're doing. You don't have to announce it. Just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. And that's the best way, in my opinion, for you to do it. You don't live with them. You're not rocking with them. You don't have to necessarily account to them. They don't own you. You're not married to them. Just keep it moving. You don't have to make no announcement as to why it is that you don't want to rock with nobody no more. Just continue to go. Shout out to Classy B. Says, funny that she talked about the money but didn't bring up the grape. Agreed. I absolutely agree. Shout out to Classy Beats. And let me say something else about that last comment when you said any advice on ending close relationships. You don't have to smear their name either. Don't go through talking negatively about them. Don't, start doing all of that and being extra about it. And, don't talk about them behind their back, none of that. Just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. Yo, and when they hit you up or when you see them, you could be cordial. You could be cool. Yo, what up, though? When I see people that I'm no longer associated with or that I'm no longer rocking with, I didn't end it on bad terms. I've never ended anything, a relationship, none of that on bad terms. I just be like, you know what? All right, cool. We going in two different directions. All right. When I see you, I'm going to be like, yo, what up? Everything good? The family good and all of that? And then I keep it moving. We don't have to continue to talk. You ain't got to smear their name. You ain't got to say negative things about them. Just keep it moving. Keep it cordial. Elliot Jackson says, Anton, you should go on a FU tour and have a paperwork party with everyone that says you aren't who you are. Is it needed? No. But why not? Because what purpose does it serve? You've seen what my paperwork is inside of the Patreon. Y'all know what's in my brokerage account. You know what's in my bank account. You know how much money I make. You know how much I make on my corporate job. You've seen my W-2s. You've seen my brokerage account. You see my payments from social media. You've seen the life hacks that I give you on a regular basis in order to leverage the information. Y'all meet me in real life. For what? What y'all have to understand is that just because you show, people know what's real. They know the truth. They know what's happening. They know who the bag chasers are. They know who got the money, and that's why they're unwilling to be able to pull up and show bank accounts. I've even issued challenges to people like Boyce Watkins. Yo, listen, let's show our bank accounts. Let's show our brokerage accounts. Let's show our real estate portfolio, and then let's play big bank, take little bank. We could put up 100,000, 250,000, whatever. What y'all have to understand is that just because you prove somebody wrong don't mean that they're going to start rocking with you. That don't mean that they're going to like you. Okay, so I prove to you that I'm better than you. Is that going to mean that they're going to start liking you and rocking with you and then subscribe to your channel or something like that? No, they not. They just going to keep doing what it is that they do. Nobody is more transparent than me on the internet. You know my wife, you know my daughter, you know how much money I make. If you're a bag chaser, you know what I make on my regular job. You know what I make from my businesses. You know what I make from YouTube. You know every single thing about me. You know what's in my brokerage account. You know the properties that I buy. I've shown y'all the paperwork inside of the Patreon for that. Who's more transparent than me? Who actually can tell you or show you whatever it is that I do on a regular basis? I've showed y'all in person. Shout out to my Miami meetup people. I've showed y'all on the internet. What does that mean? All you're going to do is create a space where they hate you even more. And then it means that you actually care about what they think. I'm not here for them. I'm here for you. And every day we do bigger numbers. We make more money. That's a fact. And that's been proven. And we get to the bag. So for what? Y'all got to stop caring about what other people think about you and start worrying about the things that's actually meaningful for the people that you're serving. All right, so let's continue. Let's move on. This is hilarious, right? I actually found this. Somebody sent me an Abba and Preach video last night. And so when I woke up this morning, I realized that this is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. Now, in the beginning of this part, and I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to be a bag chaser, link up. If you in the beginning of the show, somebody said, I don't understand why, black men or y'all hate Fresh and Fit. That means that you didn't understand the context. And and get it in, right? You didn't understand the context. So as a result, I want to go over this. All right. I want to go over this. I call this the fake fresh and fit, and then you're going to see why. And we may even be able to do a compare and contrast. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull up a fresh and fit video. I'm going to pull up a fresh and fit video. Just whatever the most recent fresh and fit video is. All right, cool. All right. Let me put this on the screen. I'm going to do a top and bottom comparison, and then y'all tell me what it is that y'all think. All right. Let me see if I can pull this up. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but Jesus fucking Christ, man. All right, let's see. So, fresh and fit at the bottom. These guys, fresh and fit light at the top. Fresh and fit at the bottom. And then fresh and fit light at the top. All right. So this is what fresh and fit look like. This is the fresh and fit studio right here. All right. This is the fresh and fit studio. All right, cool. This is his right here. All right. Come on, fam. Come on, fam. Just like I hear some people saying that he used to work with him and then they dissed him because he snaked them out. But Jesus Christ, look at this. Look at this. Did he get the same building too? Did they go in the same building? They got the same backdrop. They got the same thing and all of this other type of stuff. What the hell is happening here? They got the same type of women. Probably took their trade secrets on how to get the women in there and everything. Jesus Christ. Look at this. Look. Look at the difference. This is wild. They might be on the same floor and everything. This is absolutely wild. They went and got them a thing on the left-hand side. They got the same doorway. It literally looks like the exact same balconies and doorways and everything. This is absolutely wild in my opinion. So, all right, now that we got the comparison out of the way, because, listen, y'all. I believe, especially like when you're designing applications or whatever, you lean into when you look at what everybody else is doing. So at one point, a hamburger menu started coming up, and then people moved the navigation to the bottom of the screen on your applications on your phone. And that's cool. That's cool because now you do it and you refine it. But good grief, if you just literally duplicate my entire process, I was kind of aggravated the other day. I was talking to Rita and I said, man, look at this right here. And she said, oh, I can't believe it. They literally took your thumbnails and everything like that. I said, all right, don't matter. We just gonna go ahead and remix it and revise it. Because you can't stop a creator from creating. You can't stop a creator from creating, and they'll never be able to duplicate what it is that we do. As far as this person that I was showing y'all, I mean, they had literally duplicated. It was like, but I ain't even trip. I'm like, whatever, man. Let's just keep it moving. So, anyways, not only did they take the studio, apparently they took the same format. They got the same girl things. The only thing that I need now is the whole fresh and fit layout. The whole, put the fresh and fit on the table and everything. Get it spray painted and all of that. And here's the key before we get into this video. Because they got like 100 and some episodes. Here, let's just do this. Let's do this. This is very easy. Let's see. Pull that junk up. Let me show you there. I'm gonna be reading super chat shortly. Reading super chat shortly, ladies and gentlemen. This is them. Got 173 videos. They got 3,000 subscribers. They need to be thanking Alba and Preaching even putting them on. This is who they are. Like, this is what they do on a regular basis. Apparently, they used to do it a different way, and then they changed it to the... So, look, check it out. So, they used to do it a different way, and then they changed it over into the fresh and fit style. I mean, they still got it the fresh and fit style, but now they make it even more fresh and fit-ish. It wasn't as fresh and fit-ish, but now it's more fresh and fit-ish. This is what it used to be a month ago. And then they went and got into the same building and everything like that. That's wild. That's absolutely wild, man. This is insane. What you doing? What up, Lo? I'm on a live stream. I'm on a live stream. What's the word?
Shit. I just got off the phone with C and got everything situated.
All right, I'm gonna call you right after the live stream, and we're gonna get the paperwork done.
Oh, you live streaming? Okay,
yeah. I got you. All right. Money calls. The money is calling. I'm gonna be reading the super chat shortly. All right, let's get into the the thick of things. I'm gonna go ahead and show this. So apparently at what's the timestamp? 1:49, 1:49:32. Let's get into the timestamp.
All right, guys, welcome to the Unfiltered Podcast, man. We have a panel full of beautiful ladies tonight, man. It's going to be an amazing show. Let's get it.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. All right, let's look at this. As apparently he doing the same thing as Myron as far as kicking girls out and all of that other type of stuff. Let me go to, what is it, 149? All right.
Okay. So real quick, 1 to 10, go.
So 8.
She's an 8. What is she?
8.
Into the mic, please.
8.
Okay, what is she?
1,000.
1,000. All right. Delusion. You guys are friends. You guys are friends. That's very delusion. Yes, that's very. But we're not. I'm not asking.
Or not.
I'm not asking you guys to joke right now. I'm asking you guys. To,
10.
all right. So she's a 10. What is she right there?
9.
And what is she? I'm sorry. What is she right there?
8.
And what is she?
8.
All right. Cool.
Stop being delusional. What? These are children. These are literally children, in my opinion. You got to do things according to you and your personality. Fresh and Fit has created a unique brand. Regardless of whether you like them or not or whatever, so on and so forth, they've created their own unique brand that works. It hits. It taps into a demographic. They give the entertainment, whatever, so on and so forth. It may not be for me. It may not be for you. But the reality is they have something that works with their audience. And so you have to give them props. They work their ass off. They go and get their guests. They've created a segment, and so they rock. They do their own thing. Certain people carve out a niche that works, and it hits, and they work their butt off, and you can't take that away from them, right? But this is just corny. So now we talking to children, and these women feel compelled to be able to rate each other. Okay. I would never even get people in the studio to be able to say some stuff like that. But okay, let's continue.
The fuck? All right, so now what I want you to do is, ladies, real quick, don't fucking waste my time. Rate the guys. Do me a favor, Josh. Stand up real quick, man.
What is this don't fucking waste my time thing? I don't understand it. Because it's giving off trying too hard. I'm trying too hard to be alpha. You got to get at least 10x the subscribers that they got before they can even start, in my opinion, kicking people out the door. You can't start. You can't. This is stupid, man. Why would he like unwarranted just say, don't fucking waste my time? Okay, let's continue.
Everybody look at him once, man. He's not going to stand up again, all right? So I want you to rate me, my co-host, and then our fucking producer. Go from 1 to 10, just off beauty. Go.
I would
Speak into the fucking mic.
I would rate you.
First, you're rating me, and then him, and then him. Go.
I'll rate you a 7.
All right. What is he?
I'll rate you an 8,
All
and
right.
I'll rate Josh an 8 also.
Okay. What about you? Go.
I would rate you.
This is a bad game. This is such a bad game. And I really believe that this is honest. I believe that they really are doing this. I believe that they serious. Like, he's super serious about this. Yo, why would any man ask a woman to rate them? Honestly, this is a genuine question. Why would a man ask a woman to rate them? Why would any dude give a fuck about what a woman think? Yo, go and get yours, big dog. And if she ain't for you, then she ain't gonna mess with you, and then you just keep it moving over into the next one. Why would a dude care about what a woman would rate them? Why do y'all care at all? Y'all super chats is wild. Why would they care? It's giving off insecure.
8.
Okay.
9.
Okay. And now they scared. Now the chicks is bullied into their opinion. Now the women are being bullied into giving you a good rating because they fearful because you already led with anger into the conversation before you even started having a conversation. All right, so now they feeling a certain type of way. Let's go. She gave him an 8, 9.
Come on, he just fucking stood up, bro. Like, come on.
I would say 9.
All right. What about?
So he's one number below the other two every single time. So he's probably feeling some type of way as a result of it. But let's continue. Because the other girl says 7, 8, 8. And now she says 8, 9, 9. All right, but let's continue.
You over there. Go.
2.
Okay.
I would give it a 9.
Okay.
She said 2. Did she say 2? Oh, she said she gave him a 2. She said 2. That's what you yo. This is what happens when you ask people to rate you. They gonna say whatever it is that they feel comfortable enough. And it's gonna be some wild junk that happened in there. But this is the show, right? Apparently, this is the show that you created. So now you can't get mad when you've created the environment. Because he didn't say rate us 1 to 10, but leave out anything under 5. He said just rate us 1 to 10. So that's what she gave her thoughts and her honest answer as a result of it. Okay, so cool. Now, don't be butthurt about it. Listen, I used to know some guys in the hood. They didn't give a fuck about. Man, they didn't care what a woman think. They was trying to get them draws and they was trying to get them up out of there. They didn't care what no woman thought. Let's continue.
What is she over there?
I'd give him a 10 because he invited.
She said 2, 9, 10. That's a 21. Y'all know that, right? If you gambling at the casino and you playing blackjack, that's 21.
All right. So again, you sound like a stupid ass bitch. I'm trying to figure out why you rated me.
Oh, now she a bitch. Oh, now she a bitch. Yo, this is wild, man. Now this nigga lashing out. This is what I'm saying, yo. This isn't passion. This isn't a crime of passion. This is a crime of anger. Now she a bitch.
Me a 2 because we're not going off our interactions. We're going off beauty.
I don't like light skinned niggas.
I don't give a fuck. He's light skinned just like me, and you just gave him a 9. You gave me a 2. You only gave me a 2.
Now he mad at his homeboy because he's light skinned just like me, and you gave me a 2, and we not talking about our past interaction. I don't give a fuck, you bitch. Oh my God. Oh man. This is the funniest thing that I done seen all week. Jeez, OPs. God help me, Lord, be offense. Do not prevent me from being in my right mind. This is hilarious. This dude is mad at the girl. She said 2. Reading super chat shortly.
2 because of the whole interaction that we've been having, right? So do me a favor, get the fuck up and get the fuck out.
Thank you.
That's so corny. That's so corny. All because she said he was a 2. Now he got to get the fuck up and get the fuck out. This is wild. What if she got up and beat him up?
Yeah, get out.
So what the fuck?
Stupid ass bitch. Make sure she gets her bag and phone too. Make sure she doesn't take the wrong fucking phone, dummy. All right, cool. So now again,
awkward. Now everybody in the room is feeling some type of way. Listen, Ryan. Listen, bro. Everybody don't need a microphone. Everybody. Now she a stupid ass bitch. Everybody don't need a microphone, bro. Everybody don't need a microphone. Everybody don't need a show. Everybody don't need visibility. This is so corny. This is so corny. Come on, man. Now you gonna kick the chick out because she called you a 2, and now she a stupid ass bitch and a dummy. Now I've called women my share of names, but it was warranted in my opinion. It was warranted in my opinion. Because, you know, you can't plot against me and then call me a name and then don't expect for it to get warranted back at you. But he asked her the question. He asked her for feedback. He said, listen, I want to know what you rating me. She says a 2. And then he got mad because she rated him a 2 and she rated his man's a 9. They just want your man's, homie. They just, that's so corny. Hold on.
What the fuck?
Stupid ass bitch.
I'll rate Josh an 8 also.
Okay, what about you? Go.
I would rate you a 8.
Okay.
Bullied.
9.
Okay.
Bullied.
Come on, he just fucking stood up, bro. Like, come on.
I would say 9.
All right. What about you over there? Go.
2.
Okay.
2. I'm about to make that a soundbite. 2. I want to hear what the other girls got to say now that he didn't bullied her.
I would give him a 9.
Okay. What is she over there?
I would give him a 10 because he invited me.
All right. So again, you sound like a stupid ass bitch. I'm trying.
Red pill rage. Incel vibes.
To figure out why you rated me a 2 because we're not going off our interactions. We're going off beauty.
I don't like light skinned niggas.
I don't give a fuck. He's light skinned just like me, and you just gave him a 9.
And he did this live, bro. He literally did this live. This is wild.
2. You only gave me a 2 because of the whole interaction that we've been having, right? So do me a favor, get the fuck up and get the fuck out.
Thank you.
Yeah, get out.
So what the fuck?
Stupid ass bitch. Make sure she gets her bag and phone too. Make sure she doesn't take the wrong fucking phone, dummy. All right, cool. So now, again, we're just going off physical beauty, okay? Not what we've been talking about. Not my fucking.
I want to see what the other girl's gonna say now.
Arguments, not on none of that, okay? I want you to rate me, him, and then him. Go.
She's scared now. Now she's scared. She's scared now. She said,
Stand up for a second.
You didn't see me before the show?
Yeah, but I just forgot.
I mean,
Just stand. It's not that hard. Okay. You're an 8.
God damn it, bro. Go ahead, rate him.
You're a 9.
You guys literally see us before the fucking show. This is ridiculous.
Chill.
All right, go ahead.
You have to chill a little
No,
bit.
I don't have to chill. This is my fucking show. You saw me before the show. You saw me over there.
Okay.
You saw me everywhere. So
I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
This nigga's a monster. Hey, homie. Hey. Listen. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is why I don't hang out with other dudes. Like when I go out or I'm hanging, like when we was at the Patreon meetup and all of this other type of stuff, it be me and whatever girls that I'm with. It could be me, Rita, Q, whatever. It just be me and the chicks. Cause it be vibes. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to be around. Cause if I'm out with a dude and you know that's your man's or whatever, or he with you at that particular time, and he acting like this, or he go to talk to a chick and then he call and she say, no, I'm not interested. And he said, all right, well then fuck you, stupid ass bitch. I gotta be like, cause I can't, first of all, I'm not gonna ever check him in front of her. But then when we get back in the car, I'm like, man, what's going on, bro? Like we out here to have fun and you know what I'm saying? Get it in and you know what I'm saying? Just vibe and have a good time. Why you out here calling them bitches? Like did she, cause if she say, yo, you know, you dumb, you got a little dick and all this other type of stuff, then, you know, that's one thing. But most of the time in person, that type of junk is not warranted. So when you see stuff like this happen and it's warranted, it's a completely different conversation, man. And I can't hang with no type of dudes like this. This is corny, man.
You are an 8 too.
He's an 8 too? All right,
Yes.
cool. What about you? Rate all of us this way. Go.
887.
887. Cool. What about you, go ahead?
Y'all know how I feel about this. Y'all are some good man. You take care of your woman. You're all 10s.
Okay, so we're all
Look at these bullied answers now.
10s.
You know it.
God damn it,
Stop
bro.
being delusional.
All right, cool.
Never.
What about you over here? Rate me, him, and then him. Go.
All right.
Into the mic, ladies, please.
Excuse me. 786.
7, 8.
Now they want to give his man's lower ratings now. Too corny, yo. Too corny. Brock says it's fresh and fit doppelganger. This is corny, man. That's absolute dumb. DJ Kane says, I'm heading to Walmart. Anybody needs something? Good morning to all. Shout out to DJ Kane with the 10 ball. Persevere Data TV says they're great value at best. Rob Maddox says this is like the Sheen version. I wouldn't even want to be known as the knockoff version, man. I just want to be my version of me. I'm willing to to fail on my own, but I'm unwilling to fail trying to be somebody else. That's so dumb. Says fake, fresh, and fit is so funny. Marriage, politics, and sports. Shout out to Marriage, Politics, and Sports is in the building. I appreciate you. Jesse Lee and his Jesse Beta. Shout out to Brock. Freddie and Finch going crazy. Y'all wild. Brock says he in his feelings. Yeah, man, you can't be in your feelings. You can't be in your feelings. Shout out to Classy Beats with the 20 ball says, I get what they're doing from a business standpoint because Fresh and Fit and the Whatever podcast has somewhat of a monopoly on this type of show. They're probably just trying to get a slice of the pie. Still lame though. I mean, but Jesus, it is like exactly like theirs. Laid out. Apache, and I didn't even know about the whatever it is that you named the second place until like I seen Allie on there or something like that. Apache said, I swear this is by far the lamest crap that I've ever seen. And you know what the funniest part about it though, Apache, is because I think it's a possibility for them to be successful doing it. That's the interesting part about it, is because they did what they had to do and they getting some visibility because they already got a review from it was a negative review, but it was a review from Alba and Preach. And now I'm talking about them, and then there's probably going to be some other people that react to it and stuff like that. So they're going to get the visibility, and it's probably a niche and an audience out there for it. And so it's a catch-22. Shout out to Pat Fobb, says people show their true colors when they don't get what they want out of you. Facts. That's another fact. Tia says he's a 2. How you going to force a high rating out of somebody? He's roided the F up. I don't even know what he looked like. I didn't even care. That junk was funny, though. Jeremy Clay says those dudes are the great value Walmart brand and Fresh and Fit. Straight cornballs. I agree. Silhouette says scaring the hoes podcast. Marcus X is in the building, says dude like him will get you shot at and jumped. That's why I stay away from him. And then Aaron says they should all rank him a 2 after that and see what happens. He gonna do the same thing, kick him out. He would kick him out. So make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go into the next thing. So this guy right here, and I've seen this pop up on my timeline multiple different times, but I don't really watch a lot of guy content or nothing like that that is of this ilk. All right. Before we get into the money, I want to share this with you guys because people actually then started sending it to me and said, Anton, I want you to check this out and break this down. And I think one of the things that people was asking me to break it down is because this word narcissist is, I believe, overly used and is very much taken out of context in a lot of different areas, right? So this guy admits to being a stalker. He said he was a stalker in 1991. He was a stalker in 1991. Now, I don't know anybody in their right mind that would openly admit to being a stalker. I don't know anybody in their right mind to openly being a stalker. But he says he was, and the Adidas jacket is giving it away. The Adidas jacket is giving it away. Any nigga that's wearing the Adidas fitted jacket without the matching pants and he's not going for an 80s vibe, an 80s, 90s crush groove vibe. Yep, that's a stalker. I'm going to go ahead and play this video for y'all because people keep sending it to me to react to. So I'm going to play it in. I have not actually seen it. That's just what the title of the video is. So I'm just going to play it and we're going to get it popping.
I would like for you all to understand something. This video is about when a narcissistic person starts to stalk. I did a video about this.
And he's not talking about it from watching or hearing it from somebody else. He's talking about it from first person. All right, big dog.
Like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, when I first started doing my videos, people laughed at me. World Star Hip Hop got it, laughed at me, posted it. It's all good. I went through that. I'm going to do it again. When the tables turn in your favor and a narcissistic person is starting to lose, going to hurt, going to become very, very toxic, okay? It's going to happen. Whenever you hurt a good person, a good natured person, somebody that's treating you right, somebody that's in your corner, somebody that's not cheating on you, somebody that's helping you take care of your bills, your kids, possibly paying your child support, getting you out of jail, paying your parking tickets. This is for men that do this for women too.
So he was talking about a woman doing it for a man. What? Hold on. Let me rewind this really quickly. Give me a second.
Going to hurt, going to become very, very toxic, okay? It's going to happen. Whenever you hurt a good person, a good natured person, somebody that's treating you right, somebody that's in your corner, somebody that's not cheating on you, somebody that's helping you take care of your bills, your kids, possibly paying your child support, getting you out of jail, paying your parking tickets. This is for men that do this for women too.
What the hell is... Yo, what is happening on the internet today, y'all? Oh, hey, it's women that pay guys child support? Getting you out of jail, paying your parking tickets? Yo. What is happening on the internet today, yo? I thought he was talking about it from like a guy taking care of a woman. Yeah, you whining and dining her, taking care of it. And he said... Somebody said, how y'all clowning him when Anton got a green alien on his head? That's how I know you don't know, because you don't even know who this is on my head. You think that this is just a green alien. You disrespecting the hat? John Kennedy? I can't believe that John Kennedy is over here disrespecting it. If you don't know who this is, you disrespectful. This is not a green alien, sir. This is not a green alien. This is a meaningful person in history. This is a historical figure. You just called this a green alien. You see how the people in the chat tell on themselves? You see how the people in the chat tell on themselves? Yeah, Trey D. Talk to him. Talk to him. That's why I want y'all to let these people keep talking. I want y'all to let these people keep talking. Because they don't know what the hell they talking about. Boy, the chat gonna put you in your place. Get them, chat. Get this motherfucker for disrespecting American history. Can't believe he just said this is a green alien. You completely disrespectful. Now that we done got him up out of here, well, let him stay because he ain't say nothing disrespectful. But now that we've dealt with him accordingly, you uncouth motherfucker. This man said a woman that's paying your child support. Listen to what he just said, y'all. This is wild.
Going to become very, very toxic, okay? It's going to happen. Whenever you hurt a good person, a good natured person, somebody that's treating you right, somebody that's in your corner, somebody that's not cheating on you, somebody that's helping you take care of your bills, your kids, possibly paying your child support, getting you
taking care of your bills and your kids and paying your child support, getting you out of jail, paying your tickets. And he said this go for women too.
out of jail, paying your parking tickets. This is for men that do this for women too. Okay? Whenever you have somebody pouring into you like that and you misuse them, you abuse them, you hurt them, you neglect them, you cheat on them, when those tables turn, your strength is gone, stripped, gone. 1991, Leon Robert Walker Jr., 25, 26 years old, 24, somewhere in there.
In 1991, okay, let me do some mental math. It's 2023. And in 1991, he was 24. Let's just say he was 25 years old. And it's 2023, right? So 20, 10. So this is 30 years later, all right? That means that he's about 56, 57 years old. He looked good for his age. He must have been doing some time. You know, jail will preserve you. Jail will preserve you. If this man is approaching 60, and he's been walking around on these streets with this Adidas jacket on, that's a problem. But jail will definitely preserve you, all right?
Looked at my girlfriend at the time, was like, I don't love you. I don't even like you anymore. I did that. I did it because we were deploying, and I wanted to go overseas and cheat and sleep with exotic Asian women. So
nah. What do y'all be sending me, man? Why is y'all emailing me this? Because I had skipped over this in my timeline, and I kept trying to figure out why is YouTube still recommending this to me? All right, so he said, listen, this woman was taking care of me, and I wanted to be a passport bro before it was popular to be a passport bro, and I wanted to go over into Asian countries and sleep with Asian women. Y'all niggas is too honest. Y'all are too honest. See, instead of the passport bros and a lot of these other, instead of y'all just saying this, instead of y'all just being honest and saying this now on YouTube, you got this man speaking up for y'all. All right, so he said he wanted to go and sleep with Asian hoes. Let's continue.
If I break up with her now, overseas when I'm having sex with these women, it's not cheating. 100% true. Yes. My narcissism was at an all-time high. Again.
No, it's not cheating. If you break up with her and then you go over there and sleep with some other women, he is absolutely correct. That's not cheating.
Months later, we come back from deployment. She got another guy. Boom. Instant.
You know that over there in them Asian countries like Thailand, they got lady boys. Y'all know what a lady boy is? Y'all know what a lady boy is? Exotic Asians in a lot of these guys' minds are actually lady boys. Now, I'm not saying that he slept with a lady boy. But that's been a thing for a long time out here in these streets.
I lost my mind. When narcissistic people are doing what they're doing, it's good, it's fun. We're in control, we're in charge. We hurt people, don't care. But when it happens to us, when those tables turn, we're not equipped to deal with the pain, the hurt. We're not equipped to deal with what's coming our way. You now have to embrace your life. You have to embrace your strength. You have to embrace the love of yourself. You have to embrace your self-love, your self-respect.
Stop shaking your hand.
Because when those tables are turned, that's got
that shaky hand. When you just hit it like that, see how it's just cool? It ain't shaking. He doing a little bit of this out here. Doing a little bit of that right there.
By giving you your power back because you didn't want to take your power back from me because you love me so much. So God switched those tables, gave you the power back. Now it's time for you to enjoy your life. What you have to do, you have to put things in place. I'm not talking about boundaries. I'm talking about safety measures. Because when I was stalking my girlfriend for almost a year, there was nothing safe about me at all.
Yo, the City Boys is down bad this year. At the very least this week. City Boys been catching L's all this week. All this week, City Boys has been catching. City Boys is down bad this week. They chatty patties. Jim Townsend was telling on Marjorie. Fresh and Fake was out there. The cheap version of Fresh and Fake, whatever that last thing is that we just reviewed, that wasn't really fresh and fit. This nigga up here snitching. Homie yesterday that got the paternity suit and he wound up coming up and came through. His wife back on his team, believing him and stuff like that. And he over there, he self-snitched yesterday too. And this nigga up here said that he just went and snitched. He was chasing his chick for... Okay, so here's my question. What will possess a man to take a phone, put it in front of himself, and say, yo, I'm about to talk on the internet about how I was stalking somebody over the last year plus, and that I wasn't safe for her, and I was actually... What will possess somebody to set their phone up and say, yo, I'm going viral. I'm going viral on stalking this week. Let's get it. Let's get it. Am I off?
I got into her apartment. I got into her car. I'm looking through her glove compartment. I'm looking through her drawers. I'm smelling her panties. All of this, I did it all. Went to her job, asked her to marry me, got on one knee, brought flowers, bought a ring from the pawn shop. Lost my mind. She told me no, of course.
Hold on, homie. Hold on. We're not just going to skip over this. We're not going to skip over you breaking into her apartment, breaking into her car, messing up her employment, embarrassing her in front of everybody, buying a ring from the pawn shop, and then snipping her panties. we not just going to skip over that, though. We just going to act like that he didn't just say everything that he just said, and that these the end of the conversation. And you know what the funniest part about it? These are the people that y'all going to be sitting here having conversations with on Fight Club. And they're going to be giving y'all advice on how it is that y'all need to manage our relationship more effectively. It's true. It's true. And then they're going to say, Anton, we not going to listen to you. We ain't listening to you. Your life is too right. You keep talking about you love God and you ain't never been to jail and you ain't never stalked nobody and you ain't got no crazy stuff happening in your life and you've been married for 20 years and your wife ain't never turned on you and she's submissive. We not listening to you. We want to listen to this guy right here who was smelling the women's panties and breaking into their apartments and then going to their job and proposing and embarrassing them in front of their boss. Okay, coach. This is y'all future coach. This is what y'all be rocking with.
So God switched those tables, gave you the power back. Now it's time for you to enjoy your life.
Watch this.
What you have to do, you have to put things in place. I'm not talking about boundaries. I'm talking about safety measures. Because when I was stalking my girlfriend for almost a year, there was nothing safe about me at all. I got into her apartment. I got into her car. I'm looking through her glove compartment. I'm looking through her drawers. I'm smelling her panties. All of this, I did it all.
Now, why are you smelling her panties? I'm assuming that he's trying to figure out if she cheating. Why is he smelling her panties?
To her job, asked her to marry me, got on one knee, brought flowers, bought a ring from the pawn shop. Lost my mind. She told me no, of course. And then showed me her new boyfriend and her pictures on her desk. I lost my mind.
And that's how a nigga get killed. Now she's showing you her new boyfriend and this nigga's a monster. He's sneaking in and smelling your panties and you giving him the download. Don't know that this dude got a photographic memory. You downloading her new boyfriend into your mind and this nigga about to go and get murked because you just gave it to this monster over here. We just seen the dude yesterday crash out. We literally just seen a dude yesterday crash out.
Mine. I wasn't taking showers. I was on the Navy ship. I wasn't brushing my teeth. I wasn't shaving. I wasn't getting haircuts. Nothing. I was stinking. I was funky. When those tables turn, narcissistic people are not fit to deal with it. So you put strict measurements in place, strict safety precautions in place. So your brother, your uncle, your father, your mother, your sister, your co-workers, Leon is popping up. Leon is calling me. My ex-girlfriend years ago.
And this nigga named Leon. Hey, Rita, do me a favor and get Leon on the line. I want to interview him sometime this week or next week. Somebody get Leon on the line. I'm very, very curious about what his mindset is going into these conversations. Somebody get Leon on the line because I need to know where he at all times, and we need to put a tracker on this man. Jesus.
Ago, I called her mother over 100 times. She told me, Leon, you got to stop calling me so much. She's gone. You pushed her away. I couldn't understand. I didn't want to hear that. They're going to call you. They're going to pop up. They're going to park by your car. They're going to come to your job. They're going to come to the gym. They're going to come to the grocery store. You have to put safety precautions in place. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your children. You have to protect your family. When a narcissistic person gets that narcissistic injury, and y'all talk about it, we are not equipped to deal with it. So we're emotionless. We're looking around for help. And now...
Yo, hold on. This is not narcissism. This is crazy. This is just flat out craziness. Y'all not going to just be throwing words around and thinking that y'all know the meaning of it. Words have meanings. This is pure crazy stalker. This ain't got nothing to do with just being a narcissist. This is crazy stalker. Whose man's is this? And why he ain't got time to be going to work and all of this other type of stuff? Who let him off of work in order to be able to be smelling a woman's panties and calling her mother over 100 times? And why are you calling her mother?
The devil been getting us to go cheat and have supply and do this and do that and curse.
And we not going to blame it on the devil. The devil ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm so tired of y'all lying on the devil. Let me back this up for 1 second. I'm going to back it up just a little bit. I know the devil is tired of y'all lying on him. He like, yo, I've been going to and you know the devil got to get permission to go and be able to attack the saints, right? If you a saint, then the devil literally goes and petitions God for the opportunity to test you because he don't believe that you are that dedicated to God. The devil like, hold on, homie. I mean, listen, I done a lot of things. I got Eve to go in here and finesse Adam, and now y'all got to be dealing with tilling the soil and the labor and all of this other type of stuff. I done did a lot of things in this lifetime, but that wasn't me. That's all you, fam. This ain't got nothing to do with the devil. Like, yo, I ain't got nothing to do with this. You're not going to sit here and have no conversation and blame it on me. The devil like, yo, fam, you on your own on that one. Y'all gonna keep on, everybody always want to blame it on the devil. They don't even believe in God, but they blaming it on the devil. How that work? How does it work to where you don't believe in God, but you blaming it on the devil?
Talk about it. We are not equipped to deal with it. So we're emotionless. We're looking around for help. And now the devil been getting us to go cheat and have supply and do this and do that and curse you out and put you down. When it happens, when God turns the tables, the devil gone. You look like, yo, Diablo, where you at? Gone, by yourself. Narcissistic people are not accustomed. They're not used to being alone.
I need this guy as a co-host. I'm reading Super Chat shortly. Thank y'all.
That's why we have supply. We are dependent on other people. We are addicted to other people. We are addicted to the...
Nah, this nigga's a preacher. Nah, he's a preacher. Nah, he gonna be giving you game in the pulpit of how it is that you need to be living your life. Nah, he a preacher. Okay, Leon.
Praise, the handshakes, the hugs. But when the carpet is stripped from up under us, we're on shaky ground again. Back to how our childhood was. Looking for people to help us. Put safety things in place. Tell your neighbor, the police department, the fire department. Because that narcissistic person, at that moment in time, when you get away and your life is beautiful and you're doing what you're doing, they should be in therapy or the psych ward. I should have been in the psych ward as a kid.
Jesus Christ.
For sure. But I should have been in the psych ward at 24, 25 years old when I was stalking my ex-girlfriend.
And y'all think, hey, listen. He out here telling you the truth. He said, listen, bro. Listen. I wasn't fit to be dating, but y'all just feel comfortable enough to just be out here giving y'all box over to any and everybody, having sex out of wedlock, and then y'all have kids by them, and next thing you know, they breaking in your house and smelling your panties. Okay.
But I didn't do it. I didn't stalk her to hurt her. I stalked her because I wanted the answers. Why did you leave me? But I pushed her away. Sometimes they're going to stalk you to hurt you.
Fam, you don't smell people's panties because you're trying to understand why she left. You don't break into somebody else's house and smell their panties because you're trying to figure out because you just want answers, my nigga. You don't go to the pawn shop, buy a ring, flowers, and then go to her job and propose in order to just try to see. This is still lying. He still belongs with a tether on his left ankle and possibly getting treatment inside of the psych ward. He's still blaming it on the devil.
So you can't date and move on. Protect yourself. Change your locks. Have people around you. Tell your neighbors. You got to be very, very safe. You got to be very safe conscious. You do. That's all I can.
You got to be safe conscious, guys.
I can tell you about that. Let your family know, let your friends know, and don't play with the narcissist person once they're hurt. Don't give them false hope because they'll hold on to it. Oh, she likes me again. She loves me again. We'll get back together. No. Once it's over, it's over. If they try to get you back, it's to hurt you even more. Okay?
No, sir. And this nigga scares me. And he scares me. In real life, he scares me. This is, again, City Boys is down today. City Boys is down today. And he scares me. Because he can be walking down the street with his fire department hat on. Let me see something. Does Leon work for the fire department? I just gotta know. That's a coffee hat. Something coffee. Somebody get Leon on the phone. Somebody get Leon on the phone because I need to check on him and make sure that he ain't out here doing things that he's not supposed to do. I need to know if Leon is on top of things today. Let me read some of these super chats and see what's happening out here in these streets. Charles Martin, the negotiator, says, put some respect on Baby Yoda. Put some respect on his name. These are y'all OGs, said Persevere Data TV. And somebody said it in the chat, Dominique Ward. It ain't nothing but light. Do y'all realize that these is all light-skinned Drake type dudes? Ain't nothing but light skins. Brock says, mentally unstable this man is. Run quickly, you must, ladies. Dominique Ward says, been watching you for a while now. Love your perspective. No more excuses. I'm not ready to be great, so I joined the Patreon. Time to get that money. Hey, can we all get a round of applause for Dominique Ward? Shout out to my dog, Anthony Brian Logan, in the building, and congratulations on your continued growth. He said he was a vet, and he could be a firefighter or just supporting vets with the hat. I need to get this guy on the show, ABL. I got to get this guy on the show because I need to better understand what the heck is happening out here in these streets. Because the City Boys is down. The City Boys is down. Dame Dash says, who uncle is this? White salty pies. Lamar Black Attack said, this dude ain't a passport, bro. His a passport nut. Only a nut will tell the world that he's a stalking nut. He living his truth, man, just like these ladies. T-Dub 326 says, Anton, you should have played that Celine Dion song from the Titanic in the background to this rhetoric. Ladies, y'all got it bad out here in 2023. Luis says, Wolf season, bag chasers, Charleston White and Anton Daniels for president. Shout out to Luis. Persevere Data TV says, imagine you're about to point out from your factory job because you got to go sniff some draws. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification. Somebody said that they wanted me to... I don't know if this is the one. Is this the one? This is the one. Y'all wanted me to break this down based off of what it is that I broke, based off of what it is that I said yesterday, right? And I said that this is not a race war anymore. This is not a race war anymore. This is a class war. Let me say it again. This is not a race war anymore. This is a class war, ladies and gentlemen. And that if things continue to go the way that they're going, especially with our current presidential cabinet that is up for re-election. He's recently said that he's up for re-election. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. If anybody whatsoever, right, understand how things is working out in society, you understand that it all comes back down to the money. It all comes back down to the money. And when it comes back down to the money, it's not based off of what you look like. It's based off of how much in resources that you have available. And it is a class war. I used to watch zombie movies a lot. Haven't had the opportunity to really watch a lot of movies at all, but I used to watch zombie movies a lot, right? And I have not seen this video at all. This is the video that y'all sent me yesterday that y'all wanted me to react to. And in this zombie movie, I think it was like something of The Walking Dead, whatever. But it was like the black guy, it just so happened to be a black guy, right? The black guy, he kind of reminded me of Ving Rhames a little bit, but they was the slow zombies. And then they had water dividing them. And then there was another guy that would go out and hunt for booze and all of this other type of stuff for the rich people that lived in the building, right? And so that was his job. That's what his crew's job was. And their job was to go out in the zombie infested area and be able to find resources and scavenge and kill other zombies and all of this other type of stuff. And then it was like this leader black guy of the zombies, right? I don't even know. Somebody, if y'all remember if y'all know the name of that movie, because I'm a movie guy. If y'all know the name of that movie, let me know what that is, right? And then the guy had saved up enough money to where he felt like Army of the Dead. No, I don't think it's Army of the Dead. Let me look this up. No, it's not Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead is a recent one. This was the older one. Hold on. It's not the Army of the Dead. It's not the Army of the Dead. It was, let me see if I can find it. Land of the Dead? That might be it. That's it. Land of the Dead. It was the Land of the Dead. And here, let me play a little bit of it. Maybe I can pull a little bit of it for you. That's it. It was called Land of the Dead. Let's see if I can pull this up on my screen. Long story short. All right, we got a little bit distracted there, but it's okay. So long story short, what would happen is these guys would go out and they would scavenge and they would hunt for resources and they would distract the zombies with fireworks. And then there was this black guy, and then eventually he started to kind of sort of convince his zombie friends. It looks a lot worse than really what it was back in the day. In 2005, it was and if you look at the movie and you remove how it is that you feel about the movie itself as far as from the entertainment perspective, and you start to pay attention to the message that was being conveyed in it, at the end of the movie, what happened was the guy thought that he had made enough money and that he had saved up enough resources, and he went to the rich people and he said, listen, I got enough money now. I want that apartment. And the guy looked at him and he said, you think that you got enough money and that's going to be the thing that determines whether or not you can then convey and convene with us and sit at our table and have conversations? The money alone, you having this down payment, is not going to substantiate that you actually understand how it is that we move. You don't understand how money works. You don't understand the lifestyle. You don't understand what it takes in order to be able to sustain. You're not even in the same class as us because you're uncouth. And more importantly, you're good at what it is that you do, and that's all that you know how to do. And so you open a bottle of champagne thinking that you're going to come over here and have a conversation with us, it's not going to happen. And then the dude got mad and he, so on and so forth. He said, listen, I need you to go out there and go scavenge some more. It had nothing to do with his skin color. It had nothing to do with what it is that he, certain it's how it is that you see things and whether or not you actually understand what's really happening behind the scenes that then determines whether or not you have access to other things that's going on in society. And so when you see things that's happening from a political perspective, from a race perspective, how y'all continue to get distracted. I know we seen this new dude that got choked out on the subway. The first thing I looked at that and I started looking at the time frame in which they dropped it. I'm looking at what's going on with this lawsuit with Trump and things like that. And I'm saying convenient timing. Because the sheep will then look at that and they will say, another black man, more protests, all of this other type of stuff in order to keep you distracted from what's really happening throughout the country, throughout the world, and everything that's going on with the semiconductor chip war and ASML and Apple and the banking crisis and all of this other type of stuff. And so the reality is that it's not, in my opinion, a race war. It's not a race war. It's a class war. And I believe that the overwhelming majority of people over a period of time, especially when you start to look at the divide between the haves and the have-nots, and it's getting wider, 1% of the population owns over 90% of the real estate. 1% of the population owns over 90% of the real estate. I think that most people are going to start living in a car because for the equivalent of $700 a month, which used to be enough for you to actually be able to live in a house or afford a mortgage, now people are paying $1,000 car notes. 1/5 of the population is paying $1,000 car notes. I think that the majority of the people are going to be living in a car. So let me go ahead and review this video that y'all sent me and let's get it popping.
Living in a van is not as glamorous as it seems on social media. It's fun and adventurous, and I feel like I'm living life right now, but I do feel homeless sometimes. I don't necessarily feel like I belong anywhere.
Because you are homeless. Because you are homeless.
I'm Trent Arendt, and I'm 28 years old, and I live full-time out of a converted cargo van, and I pay about $700 a month to live like this.
He pays the equivalent of what people used to be paying for their mortgage, property taxes, and insurance. He pays to live out of his van. He pays to live out of his van. This is what he's telling us, y'all. This is what you have to look forward to.
In this big empty house, alone, with nothing but my thoughts to eat me alive.
How come every single person that always comes to some realization, it happens as the result of them going through a breakup with a woman and then they have this epiphany moment? Now you want to go and live in a van. Okay.
And I wanted nothing more than to just get out and go and be somewhere else and be somewhere
City Boys is down, y'all. City Boys is down significantly.
different. I'm originally from Augusta, Georgia. I grew up there, and then I moved off to college to Orlando, Florida to go to film school. And then from there, I started working in Atlanta in the film industry.
This nigga bought a dog to go die alone. Okay.
I don't know that I would be able to live this lifestyle without my dog, Millie. She provides a lot of comfort for me. Whenever I'm having a bad day, she's always there to cheer me up. It's hard to...
This nigga's basically I Am Legend. He's basically I Am Legend.
And when you're living in a van by yourself like I'm doing, it gets really, really lonely.
I'm sorry. Listen. I'm not the type of person to just laugh at other people's pain. But Jesus, y'all, what are we doing? We are literally in the most technologically savvy time in history. We are in this is 2023, and this man is basically saying that the woman of his dreams broke his heart. He went and bought a dog to go die alone, lived like Will Smith in I Am Legend. Insanity. He's incredibly lonely, and he don't know where his life is and where he fits in life. Jesus fucking Christ. This is y'all future. For those of you that's not a part of the Patreon, this is what you got to look forward to. Shout out to all my single ladies, my Mercedes. Hold 4 on the back. 2 if you're fat. Get the gat. This nigga's a hippie.
So home base for me is Atlanta, Georgia, because that's where most of my film work is. But I'm currently in Asheville, North Carolina, just adventuring around and hanging out in the mountains.
Hey, yo, shout out to everybody that just want to randomly go and drive around the mountains because they ain't got nothing better to do. Hey, shout out to everybody that like to go and hang out in the mountains because they don't have nothing better to do when they get off work. Yo, I'm lonely, so me and my dog, we gonna just drive around the mountains for the 3,000th time.
I bought this.
What if somebody steal your home, though? That's another thing. What if somebody steal your home? What if he decided that he wanted to go do some film work in Chicago? And you know how they do it in Chicago. You know how they do it in these liberal cities. You turn your back 1 second. You got a Charger or a Challenger that's backing up to your car. Somebody jump into it, throw it in neutral, and then they push your car around the street. And then they figure out how to get the tow truck under it. And then next thing you know, in 3 seconds, your whole home is gone. Your dog and your home is gone. You know that's how they do it, right? They don't worry about the technology that comes along with your car anymore. They go in, throw it in neutral, push your car around the corner.
It's just so much easier to build out of. I honestly didn't even look at any other vans.
Let's look at how much this costs.
The MSRP of my van is $47,000.
And then he had to spend money in order to build it out. Y'all taking out home loans in order to build out vans. Y'all taking out a home loan in order to be able to build out a van so that you can live in it. Okay. Keep on watching these nomad stuff.
When converting this van into a livable space, I had to essentially build a house from scratch. Yes, the shell of the house was there, but I still had to add insulation, plumbing, gas, and even electrical. And
do y'all know how stupid this sounds to me? Maybe I'm just completely like that. Y'all gotta live out of vans now. Gosh.
And I've got solar panels mounted on the roof of my van, which power all of my appliances in my van. Tonight we're in a Walmart parking lot.
This nigga sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. This is what y'all want for y'all life? Is this what y'all want for y'all life? Did y'all see Valmat in the background? I call it Valmat because when I used to go to Walmart over there back in the day, the R and the part of the W was out on the light, and so it literally said Valmat. Did y'all see Valmat in the background? Look. You see Valmat back there? You see Walmart back there? Right after they get done stealing out of Walmart, they looking to come get a van. All right, let's see the van. This is what y'all want me to see of how people is out here living.
Tonight we're in a Walmart parking lot, but come check out my van. All the appliances in this van, including my computer, my refrigerator, my water pump, my lights on my ceiling, is powered off of solar power.
That's why he can't get no women. That's why he can't get no pussy. Yo, what you want to do? You want to come back to my place? Yeah. All right, I'm parked right around the block. I'm sorry? Yeah, my place is parked right around. What you mean your place is parked around the block? Over there. You know, we used to call these rapist vans. The vans with no windows in the back. When we were coming up, we always looked at those. We were taught as children that to be on the lookout for rapist vans. Rapist vans were the vans that had no windows in the back. And it was a big old white van, and never get inside of the rapist van. Now y'all living in them. Now y'all living in rapist vans, and y'all putting Christmas tree ornaments on it. You see the Christmas tree ornament right there? Okay. All right, let's go.
And I've got two 300 watts of solar panels on the roof of my van, which then charge up a battery bank that has 620 amp hours worth of battery power. This is where I store all of my spices, my oil, even some wine here. When building out this van, I wanted to make sure that I had essentially
who drink wine by themselves? What
full-size kitchen, because I value my meals, an oven, a stove, a huge fridge to store all of my food. I made sure to get one of the biggest fridges on the market that's about counter height and both 12-volt powered. And this thing is probably one of the biggest fridges you'll ever see in a van that's not a full-size fridge. This is my sink, and I believe this is a 17-inch sink here with a fully operational water pump. And all that water comes from a 40-gallon tank that's located under my bed. All the water that comes out of this faucet here flows down the drain into a 6-gallon gray water tank. Once that fills up, I have to go and empty that out at a dump station or outside somewhere. And directly next to my refrigerator is my cooking range. I've got a 3-burner stovetop and an oven, so I can bake cookies and brownies or roast some veggies whenever I want to. And directly on the other side of my van is pretty much the main focus of my van, which is my gaming setup. This is...
I knew it. 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 He got to go out there, get that free internet from somewhere so that he can play video games. It never fails. It never... Listen, I know y'all feeling a certain type of way because y'all say, Anton, you know, people should be able to play video games. They should be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. It never fails. Dudes that live like this, dudes that think like this, dudes that wind up finding themselves living out of vans and getting broke up and then getting emotional as a result of their woman leaving them, it never fails. They always gamers. They gamers. Every single time. Every single time they play video games. They always trying to come up with a solution for how it is that they can get over a breakup. They always got a pet. They're always looking for free internet. And they always gaming. It never fails. And so instead of them acclimating and making adjustments so that they can pick themselves back up by their bootstraps and then get back into the game. Get back into the game, coach. Get out there. It never fails. They always spend their spare time gaming. I know what you niggas is like on Fight Club. That's why I be looking at y'all. That's why I be looking at y'all. Because you know what I see on Fight Club? Y'all always in y'all vans. And you don't want to show me the back. You always put the curtain up. But I know what you got back there. You got a bed and you got a gaming setup. If it's two things that I see dudes on a regular basis, they always got a bed and a gaming setup in the background every single time. A bed and a gaming setup. This is what y'all can look forward to. And then you can move your girl in, give her half of the refrigerator, have y'all sleeping together. Y'all can go and drive around the mountains together and keep it moving. This is your life. This is your future. Look at it. Study it. Understand exactly how it is that he's budgeting and how much money he's spending as a result of it on a month-to-month basis.
My life. I've got a full-size gaming PC that's all powered off of solar power. And
listen, this is the most exciting. He's excited he's been the entire thing. The entire conversation, this is the most exciting he's been. I got a full-size PC that's powered on solar power. And if it isn't enough sun that comes in through the day, I only have a limited amount of time that I can go out there and game. And I pray that it's not cloudy. I pray that it's not cloudy outside. I got a full-size setup PC and Jesus Christ.
And it's incredible. It's one of the beefiest PCs you can get on the market for its size. And it's extremely power efficient. So I'm able to game completely off-grid wherever, whenever I want.
Jesus Christ.
So right next to my gaming area is where my toilet is. And believe it or not, I rarely ever.
So he gets done playing the games and then he goes and take a shit. Cool.
Use this toilet because it's a very simple toilet. And by that I mean you literally just kind of go in a bag. So that's why I say it's for emergency purposes only. And when I do go to the bathroom, I often find myself going to public restrooms or just going out in nature.
Going out in nature. We just gonna skip over that? Just going out and taking a shit in the nature. And we just gonna act like that's not, like he just skipped over that? Every time he got to go and take a shit, he either got to go to Walmart or he got to go to nature. Come on, man. This can't be life. This can't be what y'all looking for out here in these streets. This cannot be life. Come on, y'all. You can't even bring a girl over. You can't bring a woman over. Because where's she going to go? Where's she going to get that hot towel after y'all get done? Where's she going to go get that hot towel after y'all get done? First of all, it was cloudy that day, so you didn't even charge up your truck with your solar panels, so you can't even got no hot water. You get done busting her down, and then she can't even go and get you a hot towel when you're done, and she can't even go to the restroom. She can't even go to the restroom. Now she got to swallow. Okay, I got you. She got to take the whole thing now. Y'all don't be thinking that far. Y'all don't think ahead of time. Y'all not thinking ahead of time. All right, let's continue. This is a rough one. Listen, I've done a lot of review videos, especially with regard to money and budgeting. This is a tough one. This is a tough one for me.
And this here is Millie's bedroom. When I was building out my van, Millie loved this area of the van. I just knew I had to make it her own space.
He built his dog
that's
their own
exactly what I
bedroom.
did.
Okay.
This is about a 2.5 by 2.5 living space for her. I've got a little light here that can turn on and off. And I've even got a fan for her on the hotter months.
This is wild.
This here is my bedroom. I sleep on a full-size memory foam.
And they always got a guitar so that they can play music to themselves.
mattress, and because the way I built out my bedroom, I've got these little out-jogged areas. It adds like 4 or 6 extra inches to my bedroom space. I'm 5'10", and I'm able to lay completely flat on this bed. So right above my bed is where I store all of my clothes. It's nothing too crazy, but it's way more space than I actually need. And right on the other
4 shirts, 2 pair of pants, 1 pair of shorts.
side of my garage is my outdoor shower. Pull back this door, I pull out my shower head just like this.
Nah.
And then I turn on the faucet. And there you go, I have a nice cold shower.
And I gotta take cold showers. Listen. I'm not even gonna look at any more of this video. This is for y'all. This is for the birds. I know y'all. Listen, I'm gonna be absolutely honest with y'all. When I see women doing van life, in my opinion, she dirty. That's just. Don't sit here and tell me don't stereotype, because we all do it. We all stereotype. I don't care what it is. If I see a dude that's walking down the street and he like this, and he got a mask on, they say, Anton, don't stereotype. Shit. I'm locking my doors and I'm taking off. And I'm not making no stops. It's going to be a rolling red through the stop sign and through the stop light. I'm rolling red. If I see a dude that is walking down the street that looks like that's my complexion and he's walking down the street, I'm doing a rolling red. I'm not stopping. I don't give a fuck. Come over and give me a ticket. I'll pay that bitch when I get done. I avoid certain neighborhoods. I avoid certain people at night. The whole 9 yards. So I'm going to stereotype. And one of the things that I stereotype, and this is more of a white woman thing, to be honest with you. This is a white woman thing, to be honest with you. When I see, because I see more white women than ever doing van life. And they always, I've seen them on the street. And they come in the coffee shop and they come to get their morning coffee and they be smelling just like puppies. Every single time. I know y'all don't think that wet dog is a smell. It is. Wet dog is a smell. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, it might just be my nostrils. It might just be my nostrils. Every time I see these chicks get out of these van lives, and they come in there and they come and get their coffee, and they think that their coffee breath is going to cover up from the fact that they did not brush their teeth that morning, and they get out there and they start talking, and all I smell is puppy, puppy, puppy. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? How do you just go in and bust that out? How do you go in and bust that down? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I love this country. We live in the most incredible country on the face of this earth. And I know it's under siege because we got some very horrible leadership. And not only the Biden administration, but a lot of our legislative branches. AOC is one of them. Shout out to the new governor of a mayor of Chicago. That guy is going to be worse than Beetlejuice, who's leaving. We got bad leadership across the board, and it's largely because the people that are worse for us are largely the ones that's determining an election. But let me just be real with you. This country, because I'm traveling the world right now, and I just got back from over there in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. This country is by far, head and shoulders, as bad as it is right now, and as much as we're under siege by China and Russia, and it's an economic war just as much as it is a front-facing war on all fronts. This country by far is the greatest country in the world, and it is a reason why people are still trying to get over here. So y'all can sit over there and y'all can complain about the fact that you want reparations and all of this other type of stuff, but the reality is this is still an opportunity, or this is still a country in which you can still, before it's too late, you can still determine whatever it is that you want your fate or your future to be by just doing hard work, having dedication, and not doing self-inflicted wounds by finding yourself in spaces that you're not supposed to be in, that's not aligned with people that's going in the direction that you're going in. Facts. And I'm not doing van life. That's for the birds. That's for you. That's not for me. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I got one more thing that I want to go over with you guys. Now, Patrick Bet David just recently did a video where he's breaking down and he's leapfrogging off of a conversation that I was having with y'all the other day, specifically about car payments and the cost of living inflation. Again, one of the residual effects that comes from ineffective leadership. And it's a thing. Before we get into this conversation, though, let me go ahead and read the super chats. Catch up on those. Centennial G says, the newest villain on Power Rangers after the main mean, Sue Young. Shout out to the Fireball. I appreciate you, Centennial G, always holding me down. Aaron got a couple super chats. He said, not a representative of the city boy. Oh, yeah, you are, Aaron. Aaron, you fit the description of a city boy, Aaron. Yeah. He is not a city boy either. He stopped paying his dues. Spaces says, that zombie with the tambourine was a Christian. That's a pretty good one. Jason H says City Boys down real bad. Real bad. Young Capsule says, what about companies like Boxable, the mobile foldable home company? Couldn't you buy land and put the house on it? I am actually I don't really want to talk about it right now because this is actually going to be a part of the Build Your Business series that I got coming up in the Patreon that I want to extend because we're pivoting away from actual having a brick and mortar store / coffee shop or anything like that, restaurant. And we're going to pivot over into something completely different. But I want to compare and contrast, and this is a conversation that I want to have inside of the Patreon. As far as buying land and putting a house on it, I'm going to go into it, and I'm actually researching, and I watched a couple videos, including Meet Kevin, and it was another financial YouTuber that went go into Boxable and look at what was going on there. They still have a lot of hurdles that they have to overcome, and I heard that was an Elon Musk company, but I'm definitely going to look into that. That's a phenomenal question. I plan on including that as a part of this live stream one of these in the future. AL says, what if the mechanic needs his house in the shop for a few days until the parts come in? Poison Ivy toilet paper. Aaron, you're a fool. Lil Black Duck 2001 says, I'm going back to school and studying Feng Shui for minivans because that's the future. Shout out to you and Miss Rita and the Bag Chaser. Shout out to all of the Patreon members. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all go vote on when the next meetup is going to be at. Lil Black Duck 2001 says, I'm going to go get me a degree for Feng Shui for your van. Wild. Continuing to read super chats, I do want to tap into this last conversation about Patrick Bet David. Talking specifically about how people with less than, and it continues to be a class war against those that don't have, and it's easily reflected in what it is that we finance and what's available or affordable for the general public. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into this.
Low-income earners in America are being priced out of new cars market, while high earners are buying more than ever before. Spending on new cars by the lowest 20% of earners reached its lowest in 11 years, while spending by the top 20% reached its highest on the record, according to 2021 Consumer Expenditure Survey. So by the way, what they're saying is the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poor, which I'll have my point on this one here in a minute.
The rich is getting richer and the poor is becoming poor. There is becoming what people don't understand about money is that the middle class is largely what drives success in the country, right? Creating more people that have more resources in order for them to be able to lean into that to then drive up the tax base, build up your communities, because rich people are going to be rich people, okay? Rich people are going to move. They're going to navigate through life. They're going to do the things. But the middle class are the ones that then establish community, and they establish a tax base. They establish the schools. They are the ones that pay the most taxes. Even though rich people may pay more in taxes, they also get and they understand how money works. And so they're largely able to avoid, because I don't know too many rich people that do not understand things from a business perspective or don't own a business in order to leverage the tax code in their favor, right? And so when you start to have these conversations and you realize how things work, you realize that the rich people are largely the ones that's going to be saddled with most of the debt. They do the most of the financing. They buy 30-year mortgages. They finance cars. They are the ones that are stable in their jobs and that they're willing to stick at a job long enough in order to get to a certain space. There's a lot of factors that go into what establishes a city or a community, and it's largely the middle class. So when you see things going away in which is just going to be rich and poor people, there could not be a worse opportunity or more of an opportunity for you to get rich right now to not find yourself in the middle of this class war, because the middle class is going away. Facts. The middle class is going away. You go outside every day. And again, I told y'all yesterday, I went to the store with my daughter and we bought 5 items and it cost us like $50 in order to go to the grocery store. And I hadn't been to the grocery store in a very long time because my wife take care of more of that, the majority of that. I couldn't understand how people are living like this. And then when my wife said, they not. That people that make $100,000 a year take home $67,000 to $70,000 a year, and then they got to fund their 401k, right? Because it's 2 of them in a household, and if they both max out, not just one, but if they both max out, right? Because the average household income is roughly $67,000 a year. Let me say that. The average household income is $67,000 a year. And that ain't even giving into anybody maxing out their 401k or anything. Because if you max out your 401k, you're really starting to look at $46,000 a year that you have to pay your mortgage, pay your car notes, insurance, taxes, groceries, tuition, clothing, travel, lights, everything, right? And so when you have a division between or the idea that the middle class is going away, it couldn't be worse for society.
The average price of a new car in the U.S. hit $48,008 in March, up 30% from March of 2020. 30%. And the demand for cheaper models have been shrinking for years. The problem preventing many Americans from buying new cars are twofold. One, rising interest rates have made car loans far more expensive, with the average monthly payment reaching $730 in April of 2020. Second, the supply of cheaper cars have been shrinking as manufacturers focus on more expensive high-end models. The global chip shortage caused by the pandemic has forced automakers to ration their components, reserving them from more profitable vehicles. Tom,
so if you only have a certain amount of chips and you're going to allocate them for anything in particular, you're usually going to allocate them for the thing that's the most profitable for the company, right? When you seen Tesla say, listen, we only putting out long range models, or we only putting out the plaid models first, and so on and so forth. When you see GM or Ford and they say, listen, you got to get on the waiting list for this, but if you want this one, you can get the F-150 Platinum, and the Platinum is like $90,000 or some crap when it's optioned out, then they're going to naturally navigate over into the thing that actually makes the most sense. Now, if the average car payment is $700, the average car payment, not including insurance, not including maintenance, not including gas, if the average car payment is $730 and 1/5 of people is paying over $1,000 a month, what makes you think that you can afford to be anything other than a bag chaser? Because inflation is saying that the average car is financed for over 30%. And you got to remember that the financing of that car is that you just giving money, free money over into whoever it is that's financing that car. You're giving free money over to whoever it is that's financing that car in order to give them an opportunity to pay it back in payments. What you think is going to happen to you?
What are your thoughts on this? I got some thoughts, but I want to hear from you first.
Well, this is what's, when money is no longer free and you can no longer get, that 2-year lease with those teaser rates.
Yep.
Let's face it, a lot of people are aspirational about their cars. And what I mean by that is they run to the payment that they think they can afford to get the glitzier vehicle. Very few people are thinking like, Dave Ramsey and other people that says, hey, be very practical about your personal budget and the car you get. Think about safety, think about what you can get. But right now, what I see this. A friend of mine turns in a Mercedes GL SUV. Now remember, we're not talking a G-Wagon, just Mercedes GL. And he had it on a 3-year lease in the name of his company. He goes into the dealer and he says, what's my buyout on this? Because the vehicles are expensive. I'm just going to buy the vehicle. And he says, give me the number. And they said, well, we'll give you 2 numbers. Here's the buyout number that's in your contract, and here's $15,000. He said, what's the $15,000? We will buy that vehicle from you right now for $15,000. And he said, yeah, but if I walk back in the door to get another new one on lease, what's that going to be? And so the economics didn't add up. And so he paid about $48,000, bought out the Mercedes GL, had very low miles on it, after 3 years. And then it's like, oh my gosh, the high-end cars, the demand is there to the point that was a local Mercedes dealership wanted to do that.
Yeah, I just got a it was several people. One of them from a Mercedes guy. He's probably gonna be my new guy because I think he a bag chaser. Mercedes guy down in Dallas, and then my Mercedes dealership that I bought my S-Class from. They like, yo, Anton, whenever you want to bring this car in, we'll buy it for you because they have a huge demand for those cars. When I went and put my down payment on the Lamborghinis, there's a 3-year waiting period and I gave them, it's like giving them free money. Honestly, it's almost like giving them an interest-free loan. I gave them a deposit, $30,000 a piece. Was it $30,000? I got to look at the receipts. I gave them a deposit, and then the deposit is just for you to be able to hold your spot. It's for you to be able to hold your spot, right? Now, they're willing to give me, I did it on the Patreon. I dropped a video on the Patreon of how I was able to leverage, was it Carvana? Carvana. When my lease was up for the Hyundai that I wound up selling to Carvana, and that was the personal vehicle, basically, I could have just turned the car in, right? But instead of me turning the car in, I wound up buying the car out, and then they gave me like 50% more than what it is that I spent in order to buy the car out. So it basically put like an extra $10,000 in my pocket or some crap like that. I don't even remember. If y'all got that video inside of the Patreon, go and watch it. I think Rita is the one that's on the cover of that particular video. But basically, I gave y'all the life hack. Instead of just turning your car in, what you were able to do is then, go and look at what it is that they'll give you for it. And then based off of what they give you for it, you can buy out the car and then drop the car back off to them. And it basically puts money in your pocket. And so when you calculate the amount of money that you spend on a lease, it's like half or some crap like that, right? And so it was really a life hack. And that's one of the things that I like to drop inside of the Patreon on a regular basis also, is life hacks that put more money in your pocket. But in order for you to be able to do this, you have to have the cash available, or you have to have access to the cash in order to do the life hack. And most people don't even got $1,000 for if an emergency pops up. And so when you have money, it's more available to you. There is more opportunity. There's more things for you to be able to tap into. There's more money to be made. You have more life hacks available. And this is why I keep telling y'all, listen, make the sacrifice early in order for you to be able to do what you want to do, so that you're not at the mercy of a finance company. You're not at the mercy of having to live in your van. You're not at the mercy of having to do something based off of the options that they're presenting to you, but you have multiple different options, whether you take them or not. And that's the difference. Okay? Let's continue.
The average person can't do that, though.
No, the average person can't do that, but that's the point they're making about what's happening in the high end. Now, on the low end, what's happening is the American public has been a payment-based public, right? The average person is payment-based. I can afford that payment, so I can get something a little
financing everything.
Financing everything. Yeah. And they do the payment to lifestyle. I can afford that payment, so I want to step lifestyle up so I can get the lifestyle out of it. And what's happening is the interest rates are up, and the little mini lease and the cheap lease, 2-year, 3-year lease, the party's over, and now they're having to go in and look at, wow, that's $48,000 plus 10% and everything, so it's $53,000 out the door, and I'll put $5,000 down if they've got that. So $45,000 over 5 years, bingo, $700. And it's and there's the pinch point. And I think the pinch point is the reality. And the average American doesn't want to go in and get the base model, Toyota Corolla. Nope. That's not what they want.
You don't have a choice, though. But here's what I will tell you. To the people who talk about the rich get rich and the poor get poor, and they complain about it, you have to realize every one of these things that you're seeing happen that's destroying middle America, folks, the concept of what?
I literally have been telling y'all this for years now. I've been telling y'all this, and I've been teaching y'all exactly how the middle class is going away.
You see,
and now you're seeing it play out in real time. Not only is it playing out in real time, but it's affecting you personally.
About the middle American income. They can't afford a car like this. Well, let's talk about what's causing this. What is causing this to destroy middle America that they can't afford something like this? Because the guys in the middle that are working their tails off for $22 an hour, $28 an hour, trying to do what they can for their kids, their families, they're sitting there saying,
Can't afford to have kids no
car.
more.
I can't get a new car. I have to go finance the used one, and it's backfiring on me. Bad policies have consequences. Many policies seem noble. Today,
But let me also say, not only bad policy, because it's not entirely bad policy, it's not being responsible. Nobody is forcing you to have kids. Nobody is forcing you to have kids early. Nobody is forcing you to get into debt. Nobody is forcing you to do a lot of the different things that you feel like you want to do because you feel like that's what makes the most sense for your lifestyle, right? Nobody is forcing you to do any of these things. You have to, and it is bad policy, and that's a factor. But a bigger factor, a much larger factor, is lifestyle choices that you then make, and then you throw it on the federal government and say it's their responsibility. Nobody told you to pick up basket weaving degree going to college, and then to have to ask Biden for student loan debt forgiveness that we then saddle onto the backs of the rest of the middle class to actually pay for it, and inflation is just going up and up and up. All right?
I'm reading a book. It's called Toxic Charity. I don't know if you've read this book, Toxic Charity, and I'm going through it. And he starts off the book, Tom, by saying the following.
Go get you a beater, man. Go get you a beater to get you to and from, or take. I got a solution for you. Public transportation. Yay! Nope, you don't want to catch a bus. You too good to catch the bus. You too good to walk. You're too good to walk.
He says, I have to read this to you. He says, man, I got to find this to tell you. There it is. Okay. He says, over $1 trillion of charity was given to Africa. Do you know what percentage of the money that was given to Africa was actually used and went to the people?
5%.
15%.
Oh. It usually is around 5%. When y'all give to these charities, a lot of times what you wind up doing is you giving in order to keep the operation open. Salaries, furniture, utilities, buildings, all of this other type of stuff. And only 5 to 15% of what it is that you give to a charity. $1 trillion go to the charity, 15% actually go to the people to solving a problem.
85% of the $1 trillion that was given to Africa to help. Everybody was like, we're going to help Africa. We are the world. We are the children. Everyone's like, this, what a great cause. Let's keep raising money. Dude, only $150 billion out of the $1 trillion went to the people. What happened to the $85 trillion? And then he continues, talks about never do for the poor what they're capable of doing for themselves. This is a guy that's been doing charity for 40 years, and he says, I'm here to tell you more churches and charities are destroying communities coming from a good place, but they're hurting them. So I'm listening to this recording, has nothing to do with politics. All he's doing is calling out churches, and he's calling out charities.
And they be getting mad at Anton for calling out churches and charities.
And I said, I'm like, well, what is this guy's point? You know, look at the subtitle right there, Tom. How the church hurts those they help and how to reverse it. This is a guy that's a Christian guy that's been raising money for 40 years, and he's saying this. The more you read the book, the premise is you think you're helping people by giving them money. You're actually not. You're hurting these people.
I agree 100%. And that's why I spend more time actually giving people solutions as to how it is that they can be successful and level up, instead of having conversations based off of what it is that you feel, because what you feel, you can't then put into your mouth in order to feed yourself or anybody else around you. What you learn in order to be successful in the facts will then implore you to do the thing that's in your own best interest. I can give you a fish today, or I can teach you how to fish and feed you for a lifetime. It's up to you. So let me go ahead and read these super chats, and then we're going to get up out of here. Shout out to Speeds the B says, I had to loan one of my neighbors some money because they shut his car off because he missed the payment. He has a wife and kids. It's rough out here. They shut his car off remotely? That's a new one. Ventures LLP. Ventures LLP says, I tried to be smart and use the first time home buyers program. I warned y'all about that. And they basically told me I make too much money to be a priority. Essentially, if you're not broke, you're on your own. And then the new Biden law is punishing people with better credit. So even the gamification of credit in order to get successful is not working for y'all. Demetrius Shaw says, Anton, would you recommend an electric scooter? I would recommend anything that you can continue to cut costs instead of spending a whole bunch of money on stuff that don't mean anything because people don't necessarily care for you anyway. I would recommend that you spend money on things that reserve your finances and your costs so you can allocate them into buying assets, and then you let your assets then pay for whatever it is that you want to do inside of life. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to rock with me. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm if you have not already. Because I know some of you came in late. Some of you are just watching now. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Dominique Ward says facts over feelings. 100%. 100% facts over feelings. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Don't be stalkers like the guy that we just heard about. Don't fumble the bag. Don't put yourself in a position to be accused of something that you didn't even do with a woman that you've never met before. Shout out to Trump. Don't aspire to be in van life, and don't be a part of the middle class. You can get rich. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Same thing tomorrow. I know some of y'all got paid today. Some of y'all get paid tomorrow, and some of y'all going to get paid on Friday. Don't fumble the bag and don't spend it on people that don't add value into your life. Invest it into yourself and don't invest it into them. All right. Do me one more favor before we get up out of here. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to tune into the Millionaire Morning Show. You are the greatest group of people and audience that I've ever met in my entire life. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.